Welcome back everyone to our Outer Terror how-to, where we teach you how to not die. In today's lesson, we are stepping away from core gameplay and covering a bit more of the game's expanded universe, what makes our anthology stories unique, while giving you a deeper dive into the pop culture stories that we expand upon in the universe of the horror genre. If you haven't watched parts 1 through 4, we recommend you check them out before watching this video. Let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Horror anthologies are nothing new in film and television. Everything in the late 80s and early 90s covered the vast majority of horror tales that had no real connection to one another, but served as an anthology or series of disconnected narratives that had a universal thread of terror within. Movies like Creepshow and TV shows like Tales of the Crypt have invaded our dreams for a long time. But more recently, projects like Love, Death, and Robots, as well as Cabinet of Curiosities, have had a similar effect. Outer Terror attempts to utilize this storytelling mechanic as a way to transport players into a new realm of horror that gives callbacks to sci-fi and golden age comics of the past. We've covered the first comic, Remnant Beyond Grey Death, previously, but its overall storyline encompasses various pulp comic tropes. For example, there is a Tarman from Return of the Living Dead, now fully realized as the soldiers of the crying god fungal growth. There is no mistaking or denying that Outer Terror, as an all-new game IP, harkens back to the gameplay visuals and cues from a plethora of horror games as well. Everything from Castlevania, to Diablo, to Vampire Survivors, to Gauntlet, Outer Terror is truly a love letter to the entire pulp action horror arcade genre. We take huge pride in the game's art style, driven by the amazing work of Joe Roman, alongside our internal VoxPop design and production team, and of course, Sultan Pixel's gameplay design, pushing to make the style of the game feel like a playable Vault of Horror story. We wanted to take the opportunity to reveal Book 5, known as the Shroud of Terror, with the story Frostbite. It introduces Paul, an Arctic scientist performing clandestine experiments with an unearthed glaciers due to climate change, and Anna, an Inuit nurse stuck in a small northern Alaskan town. The sun is set, and months of darkness follow. Paul's research team uncovers a mysterious tomb, and it looks like it's feeding time. With horrors of the dark overrunning the entire town, a small group of survivors shelter in a secure research center, but it's getting cold, and they are almost out of fuel. This is a deep-cut homage to various horror and science fiction classics like The Thing, 30 Days of Night, and Life Force. This is a new kind of horror story, one that includes vampires. As a matter of fact, the queen of all vampires. We can assure you that Outer Terror has vampires, and a ton of otherworldly creatures as well. That's it for How To Part 5. Make sure you wishlist Outer Terror on Steam and VoxPop. Stay tuned to our social media and extended PR campaign for news on the upcoming public demo that is set to be released in the coming days ahead. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.